Okay, so real quick, is your cat purring right now? Because if they are, I need you to do something. Put your hand on them. Feel that vibration running through their body. Now here's what nobody ever told you about that feeling. That's not just your cat being happy. That is a biological healing mechanism that has been running inside cats for millions of years. And the frequency it operates at? Scientists have found it in hospital rehabilitation units. Physical therapists use it on broken bones. NASA has researched it for astronauts losing bone density in space. Your cat has been doing this on your lap every single evening. And most people just think, oh, cute, the cat is purring. Today, we are going way deeper than that. And by the time this video ends, I promise you, the next time your cat purrs against you, you are gonna feel something completely different, because you'll finally know what's actually happening. Let's get into it. Nobody could figure out how it works. Here's something that will immediately make you appreciate your cat on a whole new level. For most of human history, and I mean thousands of years of humans living alongside cats, nobody actually knew how cats purred. Like mechanically, physically, how does that sound even happen? And that sounds like a simple question, right? Animal makes sound, find the body part that makes it, done. Except the purr broke all the rules. It doesn't come from one specific organ. It doesn't need a breath to trigger it. And here's the part that genuinely confused scientists for decades. It runs continuously on both the inhale and the exhale at the same time. Most sounds animals make happen on one or the other. The purr does both simultaneously without stopping. It's like your cat has a motor inside them that doesn't need to pause for fuel. What's actually happening is this. Your cat's muscles in your voice box are firing in rapid pulses, dozens of times per second, and that creates a continuous vibration of air on every single breath in and out. But here is where it gets genuinely wild. The frequency those vibrations run at, between 25 and 50 hertz for most cats, that specific frequency range is one of the most medically documented therapeutic ranges in all of science. And your cat hits it every single time without fail. Which raises the obvious question, why that frequency? Why so consistent across every cat on the planet? Hold that thought, because the answer is going to reframe everything you think you know about this animal. This frequency does something remarkable to living tissue. Okay, so let's talk about what 25 to 50 hertz actually does to a living body, because this is the part where it stops being cute and starts being genuinely extraordinary. Exposure to low-frequency vibration in the 25 to 50 hertz range has been shown to promote bone density, accelerate the healing of fractures, reduce inflammation in soft tissue, and stimulate cellular repair in muscle. Physical therapists use vibrational therapy in exactly this frequency range on patients recovering from serious injury. Sports medicine applies it to athletes, and actual NASA, researched this frequency range specifically for astronauts losing bone density in space. Now, your cat purrs at this frequency every single time, without training, without thinking about it, just automatically, consistently, right in that therapeutic range. A researcher named Dr. Elizabeth von Muggenthaler spent years recording and studying the purr frequencies of wild and domestic cat species, cheetahs, pumas, ocelots, domestic cats. And what she found was stunning. Almost every species clustered in that same 25 to 50 hertz range. Cats separated by millions of years of evolution, different continents, completely different environments, same frequency. That kind of consistency doesn't happen by accident. In evolutionary biology, that's called a conserved trait, something preserved for millions of years because it works so well that losing it would be a real disadvantage. Your cat's purr has been maintained by evolution for millions of years because it genuinely repairs the body producing it. Think about what that means. Your cat is running a built-in physiological repair system every time they rest, every time they're stressed, every single evening when they settle onto your lap and that vibration starts up. That little motor is doing real biological work. And if this is already changing how you hear your cat, go ahead and hit the like button right now. It helps Animora CodeX reach more cat owners who deserve to know what their cat is actually doing. And subscribe if you haven't yet, because we are nowhere near done, and it only gets better from here.
Here's where it gets even more interesting. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Okay, but my cat purrs when they're happy. That's just a happiness sound, right? Well, here's where the story gets genuinely fascinating. Because cats don't only purr when they're happy. Cats purr when they're in pain. They purr when they're frightened. They've been documented purring during difficult births, during recovery from serious injuries, during veterinary procedures that are clearly uncomfortable for them. And for a long time, this confused researchers completely. If purring means contentment, why does it happen when a cat is clearly suffering? It made no sense. But once you understand the healing frequency theory, it makes perfect sense. The purr isn't primarily an emotional signal, it's a physiological tool. When a cat is injured, their body needs repair. When they're ill, their systems are under stress. When they're in pain, their tissue needs support. And the purr, that 25 to 50 hertz vibration, activates precisely when the body needs it most. It's not the sound of happiness in those moments, it's the sound of a body doing everything it knows how to do to help itself. And it goes even deeper than that. Some researchers believe the purr also triggers an endorphin response in the cat producing it, a natural internal pain management system. So the cat isn't just repairing tissue, they may be actively moderating their own experience of pain through the act of purring. Your cat, when they're hurting and you can't figure out why they won't stop purring, they're not confused. They are running every biological tool available to them. They are their own medicine. But what about you? Okay, so now we have to talk about the part that made me want to make this video in the first place. What does that vibration do to the person the cat is purring against? A study from the University of Minnesota tracked nearly 4,500 adults over 10 years, and what they found was that cat owners had a significantly lower risk of dying from a heart attack than people who didn't own cats, even after controlling for every other health variable they could measure. Now, can we say that's specifically the purr doing that? Researchers are careful here, and honestly, they should be. Cat ownership brings a lot of variables: companionship, reduced loneliness, the calming effect of stroking an animal. But here is what we absolutely can say. When your cat purrs against your body, your chest, your legs, your hand, you are receiving vibration in a frequency range that has documented therapeutic effects on living tissue. The physics are real. The frequency is real. The mechanism is present. Whether it's doing to your body what it does to your cat's, that research is still developing. But the fact that millions of people who live with purring cats show better cardiovascular outcomes than people who don't, that is not nothing. That is your cat pressed against your chest every evening, possibly doing something to your body that science doesn't have full language for yet. And honestly, doesn't it feel that way? Like it's more than just warm and nice, like something about that vibration goes somewhere deeper than comfort. Science is slowly catching up to what cat owners have felt for years. Your cat hacked your brain and you never noticed. All right, this part genuinely delights me every single time I think about it. Not all purrs are the same. Your cat knows this and they use it. Researchers at the University of Sussex discovered something called the solicitation purr. It's a specific version of the purr that cats produce when they want something, usually food, sometimes attention. And when they played recordings of this purr to people, even people who had never owned a cat in their life, something completely consistent happened. People found it more urgent, more difficult to ignore, more uncomfortable to hear without responding to. Why? Because hidden inside the solicitation purr, embedded within the lower frequency rumble, is a high frequency cry. A cry that sits in almost exactly the same frequency range as a human infant's cry. Your cat is not meowing at you. They're not making an obvious distress call. They have hidden a baby cry inside their purr, and your brain, your ancient, deeply wired primate brain, cannot ignore it. You feel a sudden urge to get up, to check on them, to respond, and you have probably always assumed that was just you being a good cat parent. It wasn't. It was your cat running a 10,000-year-old acoustic strategy directly on your nervous system. And the most extraordinary part, they didn't learn it. Nobody taught it to them. It evolved. Over thousands of years of cats living alongside humans, the cats whose purrs were most effective at triggering human response had their needs met more reliably. They thrived. They passed that purr on. Your cat's solicitation purr was literally shaped by evolution to move through your defenses. Next time you suddenly feel compelled to get up and feed your cat, even though you were absolutely certain you were going to finish what you were doing first, now you know exactly what happened. Your cat gave up something enormous to be close to you. Here's a fact that I think reframes the entire relationship between you and your cat. The big cats, lions, tigers, leopards, can roar. Your cat cannot, but that's not a limitation. That's a trade. The anatomy that allows a lion to roar is the same anatomy that prevents them from producing a true continuous purr. They can make a purr-like sound on the exhale, but they cannot do what your cat does, that unbroken bidirectional vibration running in and out on every single breath. Your domestic cat gave up the roar, and in exchange, they developed the full continuous purr. Now think about what a roar is for. Distance, separation. A roar carries for miles. It announces territory. It warns strangers. It's a sound built for a world where you are alone and need to be heard from far away. And think about what a purr is for. Presence, contact. A purr carries about 3 feet. It cannot be heard across a field. It's a sound that only works when two living things are close enough to feel it moving through their bodies. Your cat's biology is literally built for closeness, not distance, not dominance, closeness. 10,000 years of living alongside humans, and what your cat evolved towards is a sound that only works when they are right next to you. That is not an accident. That is a direction that evolution moved in, slowly over millions of years, towards you, the purr at the very end. I want to close on something that I think about more than anything else in this video. Cats have been documented purring in the final hours of their lives. Not every cat, not always, but it happens. Consistently enough that veterinarians have noted it, consistently enough that researchers have written about it. And there are a few ways to understand it. The healing frequency theory says the body is simply doing what it has always done, running the repair mechanism even when the damage is beyond repair. The body doesn't know it's too late. It just keeps doing what it was built to do, all the way to the end. The endorphin theory says the cat is managing their own pain, making the end more bearable through the only biological tool they have left. And then there is the third possibility, the one I keep coming back to. Some of those cats are purring because their person is with them, because a familiar hand is present, a familiar voice is nearby, and the purr, the sound that only works when you are near enough to feel it, is still running, still saying, I am here. I know you are here. I am still here with you. If you've ever held a cat at the end of their life and felt them purr against your hand, you already know this is true. You felt it, not just in your hands, in your chest, in something that doesn't have a name. That was not just biology. That was a relationship using the only language it ever needed, one last time. So tonight, when your cat climbs onto you and starts that vibration, you are going to feel it differently. Not just warmth, not just comfort, a biological instrument running a frequency that evolution has maintained for millions of years because it works. A sound built specifically for closeness, for the moments when two living things are near enough to feel each other breathe. Your cat chose to be that close to you. That purr is for you. It always has been. If this video gave you something real today, if you're about to go find your cat right now, hit that like button before you go. It means more than you know, and it helps us reach more people who love their animals and want to understand them at this level. And if you are not subscribed to Animora CodeX yet, this is the moment. Every week, we go deeper into the hidden science behind what your animal does every single day, the things most people never find out. You found this one. Don't miss what's coming next. I will see you in the next one.